So good afternoon to everybody. My name is Dr. Nita Wirtz, and it is my absolute distinct honor to be here with you and to talk about this particular candidate for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. It's been 15 years ago this Cowboy Christmas that Ray passed away at age 66 from cancer complications. And as a result of that, I took his seat as a trustee in District 7. But I really want to talk about him as a dad today. Now, being a college professor, my students know I can go on and on and on, so I thought I'd do things a little bit different and go back to Ray's photo box and bring some things up. So to begin with, in 1945, a boy attended the Mandan Rodeo and saw Gene Autry and his horse Champion. Ray Erhardt wanted to be a cowboy. Ray was born in Center, North Dakota in 1938 and served as a quartermaster corps for the U.S. Army from 1957 to 59. He was in charge of the meat department in Riverdale for a period of his life and met and married Shirley Brandon on October 11, 1962. Living in her hometown of Towner, North Dakota, Ray managed a supermarket, and he served on Towner's rodeo committee, and then he spent some years as the deputy sheriff of the area. His more permanent occupation then was as a USDA meat inspector for about 25 years, traveling from North and South Dakota within a variety of slaughter plants. Ray never thought he'd be in one place too long to establish even a small-scale ranch, but with faith in God and family, he was able to build his dream and bred registered quarter horses for about 20 years. Mr. Classic Bar, an own son of Ruby Bar, stood his stallion at 10 High Ranch, and with he and Dad's breeding stock, it supplied us, his daughters, 3 of us, and his son with a variety of different horses that we competed on during rodeo. In regard to Western arts and engagement and entertainment, his life was most noted as Rays Rodeo Photos. Ray had a special view for everything that surrounded him, and he loved to travel and see all the things that he could. He never had the opportunity to rodeo, so Rays Rodeo Photos was a way for him to be engaged, be a part of the action. And for 25 years, he captured and preserved moments that meant the most to him. 35mm photography is, in today's standards, quite an artistical talent. While photography started as a way for Dad to compete on his own, but more importantly, capture memories of all of us kids, his Canon camera and his gained knowledge on lenses and lighting and conditions and film speed soon became finessed. More practice soon gave him the ability to kind of hone in on the right action for each rodeo event. And his dark room in the basement of the Erhardt home provided housing for many, many late nights of picture development. From the negatives to the cropping of the shot to the adjusting of the color, graininess, exposure, and then it was off to hang dry on the clothesline outside to see if your product would come to life. Now, high school rodeos across the state of North Dakota were a consistent stop for Ray and the rest of the family, especially as all of us kids competed. He was known and loved as a rodeo dad by his kids and many of our friends. And he also served as the North Dakota High School Rodeo Association as an adult director for 9 years. He was so excited to see the good and helpful side of the youth of North Dakota and how proud they were of their Western heritage and strong family values. His good friend and fellow director, Ike Crimmins, had said about Dad that he did a wonderful job as director, and it was his absolute privilege to serve with him. So let me be quiet for a little bit, and let's take a look back at some of the high school rodeo memories that he captured over the years. You'll see pictures in here all the way from 1984 to about the year of 2000 and some. Maybe some of you even recognize yourself in them. So it wasn't just high school rodeo that found Ray and family at the arena. During his career of picture photography, his wife Shirley estimates that he snapped probably 50,000 35 millimeter pictures. At local barrel racings to amateur rodeos in North and South Dakota to Dakota bull rider or PBR events to even the pro rodeos that he traveled to across the state of North Dakota, a little bit into South Dakota, and even across the border to the CCA finals in Canada. This is what well-known PBR stock contractor Chad Berger had to say. Ray was a great photographer, and he captured a ton of North Dakota cowboy history. Most of all, he was a cowboy, and he exposed his whole family to the sport of rodeo. Now let's take a look at some of those amateur to professional pictures that Dad snapped. Do you know him, Steve? So while his camera shot photos of rodeo, of horses, of wildlife, nature's beauty, and of course family and friends that were all near and dear to his heart, he loved bronc riding the most. He was so proud and honored to have been the Home on the Range Champions Ride official photographer from 1987 to 2001. And after his final year as official photographer, Winston Santron from the Home on the Range sent Dad the following letter. It said, "I want to thank you for all your gracious generosity over the years. Your pictures in my office wall are daily reminders of many happy times that we spent inside the arena together. Home on the Range will miss your contributions to our photo album, but be assured that you have given us lasting memories with your pictures, and we appreciate your skill and efforts for many, many years to come." Let's look at some of those outstanding bronc pictures. Aside from the action, Ray also had the privilege to take a few still shots of many rodeo folks and spectators, and his contributions to Western heritage will forever be a part of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. In fact, he's had the privilege of contributing to a couple of different publications, one of them being Fran Armstrong's book, My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys. You'll find a couple of Dad's pictures within. Darlene Berger dedicated her book, Little Yellow Jacket, to Ray and others in the rodeo industry. And the year of his passing, the PBR in Bismarck remembered him in their opening ceremonies. Ray also served as a trustee for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame and actually was District 7 chairperson for about 5 years. He regularly donated lots of photos to the Home on the Range, North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and various history documentations. And when people asked him why he supported it, he said, there are so many people and ideals that are going to be forgotten. Preserving the Western way of life and those individuals are very important to me. Unfortunately, Ray passed away before the Cowboy Hall of Fame was completed. However, his brand is placed on the patio by his grandson, and it shines as a testimony of his life, and a memorial plaque honoring him by his friends and family resides on the walls. During his life, Ray stood for hard work, strong faith, and passion in Western life, but it's not the end of the trail at all for him. My family and I would like to thank the committee for the nomination. The trustees have a very difficult task in front of them because all of the nominees are so very worthy of induction. Thank you again for the privilege of addressing you all today.